When we think of Christian Bale, we don't picture a glamorous movie star lounging in Hollywood Hills. We see a man possessed, someone who doesn't merely play roles, but consumes them, digests them, and is reborn through them. Bale's journey is not one of celebrity, but of obsession. He's the kind of actor who will sacrifice comfort, health, and sanity to embody the raw truth of a character. He's lost over 60 pounds to play a man unraveling from insomnia and guilt, then turned around and gained it all back, plus more, to become Gotham's muscular guardian. He didn't stop there. He dropped it all again to crawl into the skin of a con man and later ballooned up to portray a political puppet master. Christian Bale doesn't just change for roles. He becomes someone else entirely. His work is not merely performance, it's transformation. It's pain, it's madness. This is not a story of red carpets and late-night interviews. This is the story of a man who walks the edge of obsession in pursuit of something greater than fame. Welcome to The Method of Madness, Christian Bale's journey. Christian Bale was born in 1974 in Haverfordwest, Wales, into a family that never really stayed in one place. England, Portugal, the United States, always moving, always shifting, a kind of early training for a life of constant reinvention. His father, a commercial pilot and activist, and his mother, a circus performer, gave him an unconventional upbringing, but acting wasn't a legacy. It was a fire Bale found and fanned himself. At just 13 years old, he delivered a hauntingly mature performance in Steven Spielberg's Empire of the Sun, stunning critics and audiences alike with his emotional range and raw vulnerability. But instead of soaking up the limelight, young Bale did the unthinkable. He vanished. He ducked the press, turned his back on the publicity machine, and rejected the typical child star trajectory. It was the first clear sign of his refusal to play by Hollywood's rules. Bale wasn't in this for attention. He was chasing something internal, perhaps even spiritual, the need to live truthfully through characters. That early disappearance was less a retreat and more of a calculated withdrawal, a way to preserve the purity of his craft before it could be tainted by the spotlight. Few actors in cinematic history have used their body as a storytelling tool quite like Christian Bale. He doesn't just change weight, he sculpts himself into entirely different human beings. In The Machinist, 2004, he took this to a terrifying extreme, losing over 60 pounds to weigh just 120. His cheeks were sunken, his bones protruded, and he looked less like a man than a ghost wandering through a grim industrial nightmare. But Bale didn't do it for shock value. He believed that to play a man decaying from guilt and insomnia, he needed to feel that hollowness in his own flesh. He reportedly lived on black coffee, a can of tuna, and an apple per day. Friends feared for his health, doctors advised against it. But Bale kept going, convinced that pain and performance were inseparable. The transformation wasn't about aesthetics, it was about truth. He wanted the physical discomfort to bleed into every movement, every line, every stare. It was not acting, it was immersion, and it came with a cost. In what remains one of the most jaw-dropping physical reversals in film history, Christian Bale transformed from a skeletal shell in The Machinist to a bulked-up behemoth in Batman Begins. And he did it in less than 6 months. He packed on over 100 pounds, gorging on a high-calorie diet and undergoing brutal weight training, pushing his body to the limit. The result? He showed up on set so muscular that director Christopher Nolan actually told him to tone it down. Bale had over-delivered again. But this wasn't just about muscles and suits, it was about rebuilding Bruce Wayne from the inside out. Bale didn't just play Batman, he was Batman. His performance captured the emotional weight of a traumatized orphan turned vigilante, the duality of billionaire and broken man, myth and mortal. Through Bale, Batman wasn't a cartoon, it was a tragedy in motion. His portrayal gave the trilogy its gravity and helped reshape the superhero genre into something grittier, more human, more grounded in pain and purpose. Christian Bale is not officially a method actor by his own definition, but let's be honest, he pushes every limit. On the set of The Fighter, where he played drug-addicted former boxer Dickie Eklund, Bale lost weight again, studied real addicts, and mimicked their speech and tics with uncanny precision. His performance won him an Oscar, but at what cost? Fellow actors have described him as intense. Some directors have said he'll stay in character between takes. There's no halfway with Bale, it's all or nothing. From American Psycho's Patrick Bateman, a chilling portrayal of yuppie narcissism, to Vice's Dick Cheney, Bale vanishes into characters, his face changes, his posture warps, his voice transforms. Bale doesn't act a character, he becomes them. For Vice, he gained over 40 pounds again and shaved his head. For Ford v Ferrari, he played real-life racer Ken Miles with a fierce, almost manic energy that captured the essence of the man. Bale doesn't take on a role unless it terrifies him, and that challenge fuels his madness. Despite his fame, Bale remains intensely private. He avoids interviews when he can. He doesn't do social media. His personal life, including his marriage to former model Sandra Blazek and their children, is kept tightly under wraps. Maybe that's because Bale gives everything to the screen. He needs a real life to retreat to, a place where he's not constantly shape-shifting. No career this intense is without controversy. Bale has had publicized moments of anger, like the infamous rant on the set of Terminator Salvation, where he lashed out at a crew member. The clip went viral. People were divided. Was this the madness of a perfectionist or just plain toxic behavior? Bale later apologized, explaining that he was deeply in character and the disruption threw him off. Whether that justifies it or not, it reflects the thin line he walks between madness and mastery. In an industry driven by franchises and formula, Christian Bale remains a rebel. He's turned down huge paychecks. He left the Batman role behind despite massive success. Why? Because he refuses to be boxed in. For him, every role must challenge, unsettle, and reinvent. Even after decades in the industry, Bale still talks about acting with the hunger of a newcomer. He doesn't chase awards, though they often find him. He chases truth, and that truth more often than not lies on the edge of sanity. Today, Christian Bale is recognized not just as one of the greatest actors of his generation, but as a symbol of absolute dedication. His career is a masterclass in risk-taking. His roles, no matter how dark, strange, or controversial, resonate because they come from a place of total commitment. He's a craftsman, sculpting each performance with intensity, pain, and obsession. And that's what sets him apart in Hollywood. He isn't afraid to suffer for the art. In fact, he seems to thrive on it. So, what drives a man to such extremes? Fame, perfection, or something deeper? A restless need to explore the human condition through masks, voices, and bodies not his own. Whatever it is, one thing is clear: Christian Bale's journey is far from over. And if history tells us anything, it's that his next transformation will be just as jaw-dropping and just as mad. If you enjoyed diving deep into the mind of Christian Bale and his relentless commitment to the craft, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more powerful stories from the world of cinema and beyond. At Booming Entertainment, we bring you the passion, the pain, and the madness behind the spotlight. New documentaries drop regularly, so turn on notifications and stay tuned for the next deep dive. Until then, keep watching, keep wondering, and stay booming.